Welcome back, everybody. This is the next video in our DVF V2000 wrap dress. So we're gonna continue along working on our front bodice front and our skirt front. This is the skirt front we have down here, and our next steps are going to be we're going to add that same stay tape that we used earlier on our bodice front pieces. The stay tape that we added here, we're going to be using the same stay tape, and we're going to be adding it to the waistband or the waist area or middle of the upper part of the skirt here. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I just have the pattern piece turned upside down so I can work on this end. But all right, so let's get our stay tape here. Once again, we're using the Silkies knit stay tape interfacing in white, and size has a width of 1 inch. All right, and then to activate this, or to make the stay tape stick to the fabric, we use steam. The steam activates it and allows the interfacing to be, or the stay tape to stick to our fabric here. All right, so the instructions say to stay upper edges of the skirt front with seam binding, so that's what we have here. And then remember, we want the rough side down, so I believe this is the rough side. Rough side is down, smooth side is up. So we're just going to measure out how much we need here by lining up our stay tape. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a pin in there. Okay, and then we're just gonna work our way around here. Just gonna pin as we go, and then we can cut the amount. Well, I'm not gonna pin as we go, because I forgot that we do have to measure in the 5/8 seam allowance. See, we measure inward to where that's going to be, and then we center the tape on that seam line. So we're not gonna pin it all down, but we'll pin down a couple just to get the tape measured here, so we can cut out the right amount that we need. Okay, just gonna throw a couple of pins in here. And then I'm gonna trim the end here, and then I'm also gonna trim this tail off of here. Perfect. Alright, so let's take our pins back out so we can measure where our 5/8 is going to be. Put a couple dots on there. And I'm actually going to switch over, let's see, get some of my, which is what I should have been using, is my my tailor's chalk. So this is it. Comes in little long pieces here, different colors depending on what shows up best on your fabric, and then you insert it in here, and then you just kind of use it as a like a pen. That's what I should be using on my fabric instead of the zinc pen. But that was just marking on interfacing, so that's fine. But this we're actually going to be marking on our fabric itself. So actually, I'm wondering if our marking here is actually 5/8. If so, then we can just go off of that and not make any additional marks. But it looks like they're longer than 5/8. So I'm just going to do a couple of marks here. So I can see where to line my tape up here. Okay. All right, put another one here. It's a little hard to see. And actually, I'm gonna put my cutting board under here just so I can have a little something better to mark on here. Just gotta remember to remove it when we start messing with our iron here. Okay, I think we're good here. Okay. All right, so let's take our stay tape and we're gonna try to center it on our dots here. I think that's a good position there. And then we'll go ahead and pin it so we can be ready for our basting with our iron. Okay. Let's put another pin in here. Just making sure that we are trying our best to center our stay tape so we make sure that we're on our seam line whenever we do start working on that seam line. And just put a couple more here. And then we'll throw one down here at the end. Okay. All right, looks pretty good. Let me just try to reposition this guy a little bit here. All right, very nice. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get our iron ready. Move our pieces to the side over here. Okay, let's remove our cutting board. Alright, and then we're gonna get our pressing cloth. Alright. Pressing clock goes on. Okay. And let's get our iron. And put it on about 7. And then that should be enough to get us some steam going for this particular iron. So we'll get that basted, and then we'll do the same for our other piece of fabric. And just waiting a minute for that iron to beep and let us know it's ready. All right. Okay. So let's do our steam basting here. All right. Looks good. And then we'll remove our pins and hit it one more time. Okay. And then let's put our pressing cloth back down, and then we're gonna hit it one more time. Steam. Might be time to refill my iron with some water, but I think we at least got enough to do our 2 pieces that we need it for here. I think we got enough. Okay. So let's lift our pressing cloth, and now we have our stay tape, which is nice and fused, and it's within our seam. Our seam line is going to be around here, so we're nice, should be nice and centered, and able to catch that when we are ready to sew. All right, so let's put our pressing cloth aside, and we're going to get our other piece of our skirt front. Okay, then I turn it upside down again, just so we can work with the piece, the end down here, so we can work with our upper edge of the skirt. Okay. All right, so let's get our stay tape and measure out the amount that we need off of our roll here. Let's see, rough side is down. Alright, so grab a pen, just put it right there just to hold while we measure and cut. Looks good. Don't want to pull on it too much because it is a little bit stretchy, but we don't want to pull our fabric along with it. Just gonna throw a pin in here just for a minute, so until we make a cut here. Okay. Alright, so let's take out our little pins now that we got the right length there, and we're going to do our 5/8 markings. So we'll lay that piece to the side. Just gonna grab my cutting board here and just slide that underneath for now. So we can make our 5/8 marks. Then we can line up our stay tape. Let's try to center our stay tape. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to mark on here. What I'm gonna do, just gonna flip this up and mark on the board. It's interesting the things you think of after the fact, which could have done that before. And it would have made things a lot easier, but that's okay. We're learning. It's almost like my pen doesn't want to, my chalk doesn't want to mark. Trying to make my marks in the white areas so I can see. Yeah, I think this piece may need to be sharpened a little bit, this chalk. Let me get my sharpener. And we're just gonna take a little bit off the top there. Not quite sure what's going on, but it's not wanting to give me a mark. So let's try that. Just gonna dump this. Let's put it back into our pen. All right, let's try that again. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Maybe not. But you guys can't really see it anyway. I just need to be able to see it a little bit so I can line up, put my tape down. Okay, so here got the marks, faint, but they are there. So we're going to take our tape, rough side down, and we're going to center it over those marks. Get our pins here. And we're just gonna work our way down or across and pin our stuff down here. And gonna keep going. Very good. And was my dog and my husband. So excuse that brief pause. My dog loves coming in here and eating things that she's not supposed to, so tried to get her out of here. Okay, and put another pin here. Let's see, it might move that guy down a little bit. And then one more pin down here at the end.
Your data is gold to hackers. McAfee helps keep you safe with AI-powered scam detection, secure VPN, and award-winning antivirus. Plans start at $39.99 for the first year. Visit McAfee.com/online-protection. Terms apply.
My background music here.
These are my top writing tips. Number one, before you start writing any essay, I would recommend drafting 5.
Just making sure we get it back going here. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's get our pressing cloth. Turn our iron back on because it did turn off a little bit there. Okay. Alright, so we did the first pass. I'm gonna remove our pins and do one more pass. Just making sure we remove all these. The all metal pins are a little bit harder to see, at least for me. Then I'm also gonna trim this little tail here a little bit more. Let's put our pressing cloth back down and then let's hit it one more time with our iron. And our steam. Okay. All right. So I think we're good. We're nice. We are interfaced. Stay taped. And okay. All right. So let's see what our next are here. All right. So next, I'm gonna go ahead and turn our iron off since I think we'll be done with that. At least for a little bit. And okay. So next it says to pin the bodice front to the skirt front. So let's do that. Move our pressing cloth. We'll put our stay tape back where we got it from. Okay. All right, we'll put our chalk up and our measuring tool and our scissors. And so I'm also gonna remove this and we'll go back to our cutting board underneath. I actually left the cutting board underneath and now it is deformed again, but hopefully it will return back to its shape like it did the other time. So yeah, I knew I was gonna forget to remove it, but that's okay. We know it will go back to its regular self. Okay, so here we have, this is our skirt front. So we'll be pinning the bodice front to the skirt front, and we're gonna see which piece that we actually need here. Let's see if this piece matches up. So it should be, the armhole is facing to the right. So this one is not the right piece, I don't think. Or maybe it is. So let's see, it's supposed to be matching the interfacing sides. So actually, I think it is the right piece, because here, here's our interfacing pieces here, and they're all facing the correct side here. All right, so it's gonna fold this a little bit. So basically, we'll be pinning this to this, and then it says we'll adjust our gathers. And so I'm just gonna take a quick look at our pattern pieces to see if there's specific places that we can line up waistline. So this is our waistline here, and I think this is also our waistline here. So let's see our pieces and see how they match up. Or at least how they should match up. Okay, so it should be, we should have matching notches here, 1 to 1 and 2 to 2. And then also we should have a matching dot here and a matching dot here, I believe. Yeah, because once this is gathered, this is here, so a matching dot should be there. So let's look on our actual fabric. notches and our gathers and stuff. All right, so we should, so here is, I see where our notches match up here, and then here they are here. So we at least got that to go off of. So we would pin this to this like so. So let's go ahead and do that for our starting point. Okay. Trying to get that to line up there. Okay. Okay. We're gonna notch the notch here. Just gotta move these strings out of the way. Okay, that's pretty good. And then let's see how we match up over here. Got another notch to match right here. Just trying to make sure everything's lined up. I'm actually gonna move this pin. If I can get it going correctly without making it bunch up. Yeah, this fabric is, as I said before, very slippery. And that has been the case from the very beginning. But we're gonna keep rolling with it. Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and pin. Pin all the way down. Gonna stick one down here. Okay, so we got it pinned that way. So here's the little bit more difficult part, is where we have to try to adjust our gathers here. So that they can fit. Let's see here. What I'll probably end up doing, may pin this in first and then work our way. And try to adjust our gathers after the fact. Because we know where we want to end up is down here. So let's put a pin here. Put another one here. Try to readjust this guy. Put another pin here as we get closer to the gathered section. Okay. So it looks like my gathers are a little too tight, so I'm just gonna pull those a little bit, pull those out a little bit, because we have a lot of fabric over here on the opposite end here. Just gonna kind of work our way this way to try to release some of those gathers so we can get everything matched up here. Let's put a pin here and see how that looks. Okay. It looks like we need to release those a little bit more. So let's try to do that. Because it's supposed to kind of lay like this. And we got just a little bit, just like the tiniest bit. So we're just gonna, we'll release it a little bit more if we can. Gotta be very careful not to break our pieces of thread here as we're kind of loosening our gathers here. It's probably the best we're gonna get in a moment, so let's go ahead and pin and see how it looks. We can always take it loose and try again. Let's get another pin in there. Just kind of trying to walk my way down with these gathers. Try to ease it in to our fabric here. Let's grab another pin. And I think that's good. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna put another pin right here. Just looking at this guy here. Let me pull this one up a little bit. Just gonna pin. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like from the back. We still have some gathers here. But that is how we're looking. And I'll probably snip these a little bit. Or maybe I need to leave them until we get that stitch put in. Till we get the final stitch. So, but anyway, we'll leave them. Here is our pinned bodice front to skirt front. So it says to base and then stitch and then press seam toward the skirt, which would be in this direction. All right. So let's go ahead and see if we can get set up to move over to our sewing machine and see if we can get the stitching. I don't think I'm gonna baste. I think I'm just gonna stitch. I'm not really sure why I would need to baste before I did the stitching. Just gonna adjust this pin up a little bit here. So I think maybe I need to just baste to check to see that the gatherings and stuff look okay. But yeah, it seems like this. I think it's gonna be okay. Just kind of looking at it from the right side here. Okay, and then so we would do our 5/8, and from here, so we'd be basically trying to sew down the middle of where we have our stay tape right here. That is at least the plan we're trying to shoot for. Okay. So I think we'll sew from this side so we can see those gathers and make sure those gather stitches are out of the way as we kind of work our way down. All right. So, all right, we are back, and we are over at our sewing machine now, and so we are going to do our 5/8 seam here. And I'm gonna remove this first pin. Let me get my pin cushion ready. Okay. Alright. So just gonna line that up here. 5/8 mark is here. Okay, so we got that down. Just gonna try to position my fabric here. Make sure I'm getting a good camera shot too. Alright, so we're gonna come in a little bit more. Actually start here. And just double checking we're back on we're still on our 5/8. Just gonna move over a little bit. Gonna try to make sure we stay on that. Okay, so we're gonna go forward a few, back a few, then forward again. Just putting down that good stitch there. Okay, I think I'm gonna bump up my speed just a little bit. Let's take a pin out here. Move some threads out of the way. Making sure we are sewing straight as best we can. Okay, move a pin. Just checking. Again, trying to stay on that 5/8 seam allowance there. Take out this pin. Take out that pin and just gonna keep it moving. Getting ready to come across some of our threads here from our gathers. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take that pin out. So we're getting ready to approach our gathers here. Go ahead and move that guy out of the way. Okay, let's keep it going. It's looking good. Take out another pin here. So as we're going across here, we're kind of within the gathering seam a little bit, and then we can probably actually remove these two basting stitches after we finish doing our stitch, because you don't want those to be seen on the outside of our piece. Okay, I'm just gonna take those, try to move them out of the way here. Just we'll split them like so. I'm gonna go ahead and take that pan off there. It's just flopping around. It's not doing us any good anymore. So okay, and then I'm just gonna check to make sure we're still on that 5/8. We're gonna move it a little bit off here. So we'll just try to see if we can get back on track. There we go. It's very hard to sew straight. If you can sew straight, then you are a talented individual, because I am still learning myself. Alright, we're almost to the end with this one. And then once we get to the end, we'll do our forward and back stitch again. That was our last pin. So let's go ahead and sew all the way to the end here. We'll do a few back stitches. Do a few forward ones. Should be. Alright. So we're gonna lift up our piece here. And pull our tails for next time. Okay. All right, so we're gonna navigate back over to our table so we can check out our stitch and see how it looks. Okay. All right, so we're back at the table now. And just checking the camera. We'll get rid of that one for now. And we'll put our PDFs back up. Okay. All right. So we're back at the table here. All right. So we just put. I didn't do a base stitch. I just did a regular stitch. So we just stitched the bodice front to the skirt front. And as you can see, here is our here's our stitch there. We're right in just about right in the center of our stay tape. And then we got a couple of gathers here. So let's see. Let's take a look on the other side, from the right side, and see how it looks. And then we'll go ahead and see if we can try to get those basting stitches out from where our gathers are, because see, you can actually see that, and those that's not supposed to be there. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that out with our seam ripper. With our seam ripper here. And see if we can just, should be able to just pull, because it's not supposed to be a tight stitch in there, hence why you base your gathers. So they should be coming out, it should come out pretty easy. Looks to be coming out pretty good. See? Okay. And we're gonna get this little piece out. And we should just pull, but I don't want to rip our fabric. So we'll just take our time and just pick it out. Then we'll also check the back side to see if we can get that other string that's hanging out at the beginning. We can snip some of these strings off. Okay, so I think we got most of the pieces there. So this is how it looks now. And we got our little bit of gathers here. Very nice. Not dramatic gathers, but they are nonetheless there. And then we'll pull this guy right on out. Perfect. All right, so let's see what we can clip off the back. We grab the scissors. And I think it's a lot we can trim here. Or we can even probably just pull these out. The same way. So let's see if we can pick that out, those basting stitches. From our gathers. And it may just be easier to just leave it and then just clip our strings. If I can get it out here. Try to see if I can pick a little from the front. This is a very strong basting stitch to be a base stitch. It's not supposed to be hanging on that strong, but it actually is. Okay, I'm just trying to get the other end of this picked out. It should make the rest of them come out fairly easy. Just as long as we don't pick out the real stitch, we should be good to go. For some reason, this guy was really wanting to hang on. But we are not going to let him stay. We want him gone so our piece can look clean. Okay, I think that was the last piece. That was the last piece. Or maybe this was the last piece. A lot of old pieces in there. But as you can see, our gathers are still there, which is good. And then we'll just clean up our stitches down here. And I think we got two over here. Snip. And one here. Yep. Okay. Alright, so that is one side done. So now, so that is the dress there, kind of looking from the shoulder down. We got kind of one side done there. Very cool. It looks very nice. And nice gathers too. Okay. Alright. So let's go ahead and we'll grab our other bodice front and skirt front, and we'll get those pinned. Alright, so this is our other piece here, and then here is our piece here. So we want right sides to right sides, and then our interfacings to match here. Alright, so I already know from our other piece that we gotta pull these gathers way. They gotta be like loose gathers and not tight gathers. So we kind of at least kind of know what to start out with there, and loosening those up a lot. So I'm just I'm gonna do that before we start pinning. Just gonna pull, loosen, loosen, loosen. Okay. I think that's about as loose as we can get at the moment. We'll try to work our way a little bit more when we start pinning, but I think that's good for now. All right, so let's try to move all my threads here. So let's find our notches again that we're gonna line up. So here are 2 notches here. So I'm gonna line them up here. And let me grab my pins from the sewing machine. And we're just gonna do the same thing over again. So first we're gonna line up our notches here. Hopefully this will move a little bit faster since we're doing this for the second time. We kind of know what to do now. But not in any hurry particularly. Just trying to make sure we get lined up as best we can here. Alright, so let's start with our first pin here. We'll put 2 in this little section right here. And then we're going to go down to the end this way. Ooh, that pin is actually pretty bent. I might need to get rid of that guy. And it's a little dull as well. Nothing worse than a dull pin, that's for sure. We'll just throw one right there at the end there. Okay, and then let's work our way back up. Put one right here before on our notch here before our gathers start. Then we'll put one on the opposite side here as well. Okay, then we're gonna go to the opposite end here. how what we did the last time, and we kind of pinned here at this end and then worked our way back towards the gathers. So we'll do the same. I think that worked out pretty nicely. And just working our way down here. Okay. Put a pin here. And hopefully the adjustments we made already with loosening up the gathers here, hopefully that was enough to do what we need. Looks like it was, so we don't have to manipulate the fabric too much. Took a little bit of a minute the last time, but I think we kind of did it very well this time, so that's good. Everything seems to be nicely laying here, so that means we gathered or ungathered just enough what we needed there, because that actually fits very nicely there. Okay, so we're all pinned up for this side as well. I'll show you a little close up there. There's our gathers. There's our notches we got all lined up. Very nice. Okay, and so let's go ahead and we'll move back over to the machine. All right, and then let's get our piece into our machine here. Our 5/8 mark is here, so I'm just gonna try to make sure that's lined up. And try to make sure it's straight, somewhat straight. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move that pin, grab our pin cushion. Okay, and I think we are ready to start. Okay, so we'll go slow. So we'll do forward a few, back a few, forward a few, get back over to that 5/8. It's very hard with this fabric to keep it straight. I'm trying to keep everything straight here on that 5/8. Just kind of keep her rearranging here. Move that pin. Just checking where our 5/8. We're still on our 5/8. That's good. Actually, I think I might I may put my seam guide back on here, but let's just see if we can keep things straight here before resulting to the seam guide, because that's gonna make it a little bit harder to get some decent camera angles here. Gonna scooch in a little bit for camera. Alright, and we're coming up on the fun part, coming up on our gathers. I'm gonna try to keep those threads out of the way. Let me grab my seam ripper and try not to rip the seams, just smooth it back. Might have to, it may just be stuck until I can finish my sewing. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it alone and then just try to pull them out when I get done. So we'll just kind of sew over whatever and fix it later. Should be able to come out pretty easily though. The other ones took a minute to pull out, but they nonetheless came out. So we will depend on the same thing to happen with these. Just gonna pull these apart here. Gonna take out that pin. And just kind of keeping everything, keep these strings here out of the way for later. So we'll need to pull on those to get that basting stitch out. Alright, past the hard part. Should be smooth sailing from here. Just trying to stay straight. Alright, we're almost to the end already. That one seemed like it went by a little bit faster. Just gonna get my fabric. Okay, I'm just gonna move my fabric a little bit. There we go. Okay, 3 more pins left. last pin. Just gonna reposition my fabric a little bit here. It's a little twisted here at the end. I think we're okay. Okay, and then we're gonna reverse. And then forward. Okay. And lift our foot up here. And chop. Put our tails back for the next time. All right, and we're gonna move back over to the table to finish up. We're gonna pick out that basting seam and finish up. So we're gonna switch back over to the table here. All right. Just gonna turn off our sewing machine, and then let's get back over here to the table so we can see what we got going on here. And I'm gonna see if I can actually zoom in a little bit. See if that helps a little bit with the view. All right. Okay. All right. So we just did our stitching our skirt front to our bodice front. There. That's how it looks on the other side. And of course, we're gonna remove these basting stitches from our gathers here. Let me see. I already felt that one being pulled. So I'm wondering if I can just see which end I can pull it from. Now I think we're gonna have to do it the same way we did the last time, which is just took our time and we went through and we just picked out our basting stitch here. Sometimes it's just no way around stuff. There's no easy route. Which is okay. That's fine. If that's the way it's gotta be, that's the way it's gotta be. Okay. So just gonna pick here. Picking our basting stitch that we use for our gathers. Now that our gathers are nice and sewn, we don't need them anymore. And we especially don't need to see them anymore. I'll try to be a little bit more, I should be being a little bit more careful since this fabric is a little bit delicate. Don't want to snag everything. So we're just picking. All right. most of it. Here's the other piece. Let me see if I can turn it on the back side and get that piece off. Yep, that came right off. Looks like we got a little bit caught in our main seam, but we were able to get it out, so that's fine. Perfect. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and clip these guys. See. Trying to see if there's any more threads that we forgot. But I don't think so. I think we are good. Very nice. I love the little gather detail. Looks very nice there. Very nice. All right. Okay, so I'm going to end this video right there. And we still gotta press the seams downward. So I might do that off camera. Before we start on our next piece. So coming up next, we'll be doing the bodice back and the skirt back. We'll have this. The bodice back is piece number 3, and we'll have to stitch 2 darts in there, and then also it is 2 pleats at the bottom. So we got 2 darts and 2 pleats for that piece, and then we'll be able to attach it to the skirt back. And so that'll be what we can look forward to for our next video. Once again, thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.